Firstly, thank you so much. Ivan, pleasure talking to you here. ZF CVS Global Technology Day 2026. Thank you for having us here. A lot of interesting technologies we've seen, heard, and more importantly, experienced on some vehicles as well. Very, very impressive to start with. Thank you for that. Can we start off hearing from you on the key technology trends that are kind of shaping and trying to rewrite the commercial vehicle industry globally, and how ZF is trying to contribute towards this change?
Yeah. First of all, I think there is an underlying set of trends, domains, trends, however to call it: automated, electrified, connected, ACE. We call it ACE, maybe other companies call it differently. And those are getting, they are progressing in terms of technologies, but they are also getting intermeshed with each other. So the overlap between the domains becomes a critical area, and there are new technology streams coming in. Like, for example, we see that in the area of digital, after now cybersecurity regulations came in place, digital capabilities of the products will be step-by-step extended to the complete life cycle. One example. Another example, and here we are driving very strongly, is to combine isolated system intelligence to a combined system intelligence. And I showcase here one example with a synergy between braking and e-drive. And I think if we as an industry want to bring safety and efficiency to the next level, we are already on a good level, but you can always improve, and we want to bring it to the next level. You need to go that step, combine different systems. And here is where ZF capabilities come into play, because we are developing braking systems. We are experts in braking systems. We are experts in driveline and also in electric driveline. So for us, it's natural to combine both together, to bring the experts together, how we can reduce latency times in the control and improve efficiency of both systems working together.
Right. Interesting. So, one is on one side, the mega trends that have been shaping the industry for the last few years. ZF has been an active, participant in the same. And as you indicated, the woven nature of these technologies with additional technologies coming in. I think ZF, being the size of your company, and also with the addition of WAPCO in 2020, I think you're much better positioned to actually offer a full range of solutions, right? As you indicated, one-stop shop for commercial vehicle technology. Yeah. Now, very interesting that the synergy-based approach that you spoke about makes a lot of sense as well. How challenging is it to actually get this executed at, let's say, a customer at an OEM level? And at the same time, how interesting is it? Because I don't think too many other suppliers have such a privilege or a position to be in.
Yeah. So how difficult is it to implement? Not difficult at all. We have it available. If a customer is buying our braking system, is buying our electric drive, we can just activate it. Yeah. It's already there. And we are even now developing the next steps of efficiency. We can implement it in the existing electronic control units we have already available. It's there. So implementation is just a matter of customer asking for it, buying both systems, and that's it.
Perfect. Yeah. Right. And speaking from geographies, right? Again, ZF being a global company with presence across different continents and markets, you spoke about it as well. The need for different regions is different.
Yes.
Now, in that regard, again, how challenging or how interesting is it for you to develop more suitable, tailor-made solutions for respective markets, taking into consideration multiple factors of each region and each market?
It's a crucial factor.
Yeah.
We cannot ignore what kind of demand there is in a certain region. It might be completely different than from another region. And there are also so many different use cases. Let's take India, China or India. When it comes, for example, to weather conditions, there are similarities. You have cities being flooded and still vehicles driving to flooded streets, which you won't experience in Europe so often. So it's different. So we need to make sure that our systems, the same systems, work also in other regions. And the best approach is to include regional understanding of requirements, of demands into the development of a global platform and make it as easy as possible also for the regional teams to adapt it and to go for a local application in the specific region as easy as possible. But we cannot ignore that kind of regional specific demands.
Yeah, absolutely. And to actually get this done in the most efficient possible way, we'll probably need strong regional teams, right? And that's somewhere, it's an area where India has actually featured prominently for ZF. Can you tell us a bit more about the collaboration between the Indian design, development and R&D team and your, let's say, your global headquarters here in Germany?
Actually, you say global headquarters in Germany, but actually we have a global team in India. In the domain of software and function development. So India is for me a global location. And I have to say, when I look back in the last 10 years since I joined back then this company, I mean, it's just exciting to see the evolution of the local team. Meanwhile, we have there, I would say, in the range of 1,000 engineers in our location in Chennai. And the evolution of skills and capabilities in our India team is just impressive. And therefore I'm really proud, and it's really important for me to say, for me this is a global location in certain domains, and even we are moving, and we can move due to all these local capabilities, global responsibility for specific product groups even to India. So it's completely for the global markets, handled, developed, managed by our India team.
Brilliant.
And therefore I think that's part of the success of the company. So for me it's, and this I hear left and right, it's not a workbench. It's a fully integrated global team that of course understands India specific demands or requirements, but is acting also globally.
Brilliant, right? And that's wonderful. I mean, I think probably not too many companies have actually tapped that potential of in kind of capability that the Indian workforce brings. But I think ZF has been doing that for brilliantly for the last many years, and I'm sure it's only going to grow as we move forward as well, right?
Yes,
Brilliant.
I'm fully convinced about this.
Wonderful, right? Now we move to a different topic. One which I found one of the most interesting things discussed today: software-defined commercial vehicle. SDCV, as you very interestingly pointed out. Tell us a bit more what is happening on that front, and why a software-defined commercial vehicle is so much different from a regular SDV, which is a software-defined vehicle more for passenger cars.
Yes. So the principal approach in both cases is similar, the technological approach. So it's about creating harmonized architectures on the different technical layers of the vehicle, from the mechatronics layer to the computational layer, and then having a connectivity to a cloud and according architectural layer on the cloud. But the motivation and the requirements behind are completely different. In SDV, so software-defined vehicle for PaaS cars, it's first of all, it's less vehicle variance. It's more simple vehicle variance than compared with a commercial vehicle. And you have much higher volumes. You have end users which expect a certain digital lifestyle as well. And the motivation and trigger points are different, and therefore it's different how you approach it to allocate different crucial vehicle systems in such a layered architecture accordingly. While I call it software-defined commercial vehicle to outline this difference. If you look on commercial vehicles, you have lower volumes, and those lower volumes are then even splitting up in all different kind of vehicle variants. You have vehicles with rigid trucks with a trailer, or you have semi-trailers, and all different kind of vehicle variants, buses, and so on. And you need to make sure that it's not about a digital lifestyle. So no one will buy your systems because you offer some apps for a digital lifestyle, but whatever you offer to your customers and to the market, to the end users, which are the fleets, the first question is how we can save money, how we can improve our daily operations. So whatever comes as new opportunity out of these new architectures needs to be translated into this practical implementation. There needs to be a very short time for payback of the investments that you do there. And therefore it's to translate it into practical use cases, and some of them we have demonstrated. One was the yard operation, where you have a vehicle driving or reaching a yard. And the vehicle functionality gets extended, pushed by the yard for the specific yard situation, and ensures that the driver can safely approach the ramp, and we can safely, so the yard operator and the driver together safely operate the loading process. And therefore there's a fundamental difference of motivation behind and the requirements behind.
Interesting.
We will try, that's exactly what we try to do. We drive to translate this big title of software-defined vehicle into a practical implementation in terms of a software-defined commercial vehicle.
Perfect. I think tailoring it to suit the right application, I think that's definitely the way to go. And really looking forward to developments on that front, as we move forward as well, right? And again, a topic that can never be kept out is on propulsion technologies. From ICE, a lot of markets have moved to full electric BEV vehicles. There's also discussion coming back. Hybrids are becoming more interesting as well.
Yes.
From ZF's perspective, can you talk to us a bit more about the Traxon hybrid solution that you just showcased, and also the C-Trax 2 that was also showcased here? Why do you think both these technologies have a major role to play in the times to come?
Yes, so it's clear that the pure battery electric drive, that's the best step forward towards complete emission reduction, zero emissions. And with the upcoming regulations across all regions, everyone is going into similar directions, but the speed or the steps are maybe a little bit different, but that's at the end the best step to do it. Nevertheless, you still depend on infrastructure. And also the rollout, the build-up and the rollout of the infrastructure, the speed behind is quite different, depending on regions, depending on countries, and so on. So I think there is a basic motivation from OEMs and from fleets to move over to fully electrified vehicles, also to be able to fulfill regulations accordingly, and just to have more sustainable operations. But at the end, you also need to match it with the capabilities that you need from the environment and from the infrastructure. So I think with the hybrid, there are two big advantages. You could bridge over to this fully electrified future, where infrastructure is not available. Charging stations are not available, but you still make a step towards a reduced carbon emissions. But there is a second benefit. It does not require too much change in your vehicle architecture. So if you are more investment sensitive, you can basically reuse the current ICE architecture that you have and just add on the Traxon hybrid. You can operate it in without a plug-in charging mode or with a plug-in charging mode. In both cases, you have different levels of savings behind and CO2 emission reduction behind, but in both cases they are significant.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's on the Traxon side.
Yes.
On the C-Trax side, anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I would say the C-Trax is one of 5 different potential applications in the vehicles. So out of a common set of core components like the e-motor, like the inverter, we can create 5 different applications to accommodate all different kind of vehicle types. And that's what I said before in the frame of SDCV. In commercial vehicles, there are a huge amount of different vehicle types. So the big benefit, I think, with the C-Trax is a central drive. So also here you could basically reuse majority of the existing vehicle design and vehicle structure. You just implant the central drive accordingly. You can leave away the combustion engine, you don't need anymore. You can use up the space maybe then for batteries. That's at the end a decision point on the OEM side. But you don't need to change too much on the vehicle. So that's the big advantage of C-Trucks. On the other side, we have the X-Trax. So it's a fully electrified, integrated axle. What is the benefit of that? There are customers that say, okay, we want to go a bigger step in the redesign of the vehicle and make it really more suitable to the electrified application. And we want to have more flexibility where we place the batteries. And so the integrated axle solution in terms of packaging is, I would say, best in class in the market. It's benchmark across the world. It's such a high integration in such a space available, and the power that we can create out of this, I think is benchmark. We do not need to hide here. So depending on what is the customer specific preference or also requirement, how quickly they want to go, how far they want to go in the step of the vehicle design, integrate what kind of battery packages, they can flexibly select different solutions from our e-mobility. And last but not least, the last application is the low floor. So there is one very specific application on the city bus low floor where you need a different design, but also here we could combine what we have already in terms of base components, what we have already from the integration process of the axle to a variant of the low floor axle.
Brilliant. So I think, with such technology spread, right, I think you position yourself perfectly for the OEMs, right? If they want to go to hybrid, they can come to you. If they go to electric, they come to you as well. So it's probably an amazing position in that sense, right? Probably, I felt this is probably one of the most interesting questions from my side. So we had 4 stations today experience from our side, right? I start with safety, 360-degree safety view, and then a smart mobility at the yard with the SDCV, bus-related solutions. And then the other one was number 2, e-mobility. Yeah, decarbonization, of course, I'm missing that. And under each station, there were multiple solutions, right? So it's almost like a full bouquet of technologies and solutions that you've showcased.
Yes.
If I have to ask you to pick your top 3, what would they be?
For me, safety is always number 1. Okay. So everything around what is increasing safety, so the 360-degree solutions, I think are very crucial. I also like the bus solution for the emergency braking, ensuring that you don't get passengers hurt. So actually, I'm not sure if I can pick the top 3 here. I like all of them, but if I should pick some of them, I would always go for the safety ones.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah. Makes sense. Brilliant. I think that also indicates the whole thinking and the vision of the company, right? 0 accidents and of course 0 emissions as well. But I think you're walking the talk in that front. I would say, That's impressive, right? And I didn't want to pair this with the SDCV, but you also spoke about AI-defined vehicle, right?
Yes.
You indicated about it, but this is another topic that we can never probably keep away from any discussion today. So, to what extent do you think AI has already started influencing commercial vehicles? And again, how does the future look like? What kind of impact will AI have?
There is already AI out there. Or I can even say, I'm not sure if I can call it AI, but there are different frames of AI, and machine learning, for example, is one frame of it. And machine learning is already available since 2 decades. And it's already actually implemented in a lot of products. At the end, it's an evolution, and the AI gets more and more powerful. Of course, also by feeding it with the right data. And the principle, so we have it already in products accordingly, and working on even improving it. For example, we could apply an AI for virtual sensors. And creating new sensor data without bringing additional hardware to the vehicle, just by data analytics of the complete vehicle. We could improve from existing sensors the detection quality. And if you have a better sensor quality, you can improve the performance of your systems.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there are a lot of application opportunities for AI in those products, but also in your development process. If you can automate certain processes, you not only improve your efficiency, you can also improve the quality of the output.
Exactly.
If you utilize AI in your validation, for example, you might be able to cover test cases you, as a test engineer, you maybe wouldn't have covered before.
Absolutely.
So there are a lot of opportunities around AI. Also here, I would say it's an evolution. But this evolution goes along with a transformation of us as an R&D team itself.
Yeah.
The way how we follow certain development process, the way how we create work products, which tools we use, how we document the data or the results of the work products, and so on. So this we need to respect. And I think we have meanwhile an extreme good level of awareness in our R&D team on AI. So I'm quite confident about this.
Brilliant.
And we want to make the most positive out of this new technology.
Brilliant. Again, definitely another area that we should really be keeping close watch on as we move forward, right? What happens to the industry, how we make use of AI as well. Pretty interesting, right? Another aspect I wanted to check with you. So when you start focusing on building a new technology, it's obviously for the customer, right? At the end of the day, it's the OEMs and very importantly the fleets as well, right?
Yes.
And in some cases, they give you a requirement saying that this is something that we need, and in many cases, you develop something and with the understanding that this is something that will be useful to them.
Yes.
But at the end of it all, it has to make business sense. It has to add value to them, and economically, it should be viable and it should make sense to them. How do you approach this entire aspect to ensure that a technology that you develop, you invest a lot of money, resource, time, effort, etc.,
Yes.
and to ensure that it actually adds value at the end of the day?
Yeah, I would call it a push and pull process. Yeah. So let me take just one example. We have a good idea for a new technology. What do we do with it? We have actually an innovation team in our organization, and this innovation team is equipped with experts out of the field. For example, our colleagues there in the SDCV area with the yard operations are innovation people. And in this innovation team, we take a first step of a concept development, maybe of a first demonstrator. I would say on a lower level of invest. I mean, we are not going to full development. We just want to create a first demonstrator, and then we go into this push-pull mode. That means we take contact with customers, with fleets. We go into the demonstration, we go into the discussion, and we reiterate. We get some feedback. Maybe in some cases the feedback is, we don't see really a future for that one. In other cases, the feedback is, oh, that is a great thing.
Really?
So we can early already decide on customer feedback, but maybe also on internal feedback from our product lines, from our markets, from the regions. Yeah? Is this something interesting for you? And based on that feedback, we can decide, okay, we go to the next level. We invest now more. Yeah. In some other cases, we might create with this such a high interest that at the end we don't even need to push it anymore. It's getting pulled by its own. Yeah. So I think that would be in our industry the best approach to really when it comes to introducing completely new technologies. And by the way, we had one here that has followed exactly that approach, and that was the e-compressor, the scroll technology. We started with a small innovation project, just exploring what can a scroll technology deliver in terms of performance, but also in terms of efficiency. And step by step, we followed exactly that process. And now it's there. You saw it. Yeah. And we have already now a lot of customer contact and all customers, a majority of customers asking for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think makes a lot of sense. And only then I think there's going to be practical application, right? Else you develop something that's like super interesting, but nobody's going to take it or accept it. Then it just becomes a showpiece, right?
We don't develop for ourselves.
Exactly. That's very, very important and very, very interestingly said, I would say. Yeah, right. So, I mean, just zooming out a bit, so multiple requirements from customers, multiple geographies, multiple disruptions, multiple changes. So the number of variables in today's industry scenario are so many, right? So the overall complexity is also that many, right? It's that much more severe. But yes, it also opens up opportunities in so many different aspects to you as well. So as the head of R&D and technology at ZF Group, how do you view the entire larger picture in terms of multiple challenges, at the same time multiple opportunities, and how excited are you about this whole timeline are we in?
Yeah, I tell you, that's a good question. And someone could be overwhelmed by all this volatility and dynamics and chaos. And I tell you one thing, I think it was said by Ayrton Senna, you know, this race
of course,
driver.
Legend,
yeah. You know what he said? He said, the best drivers you will find in the rain and not in the sun.
Yeah, right.
And that's, I think it's a matter of mindset.
True.
I think it's a huge opportunity for us to demonstrate our capabilities, all this volatility.
Yeah.
So there is, if you ask me, and I convey this also to all my teams, there is a huge motivation behind to manage it, to go for it, because it will distinguish us in our capabilities in all the markets. And that is why we are strengthening our footprint in the major regions. That is why we have such a big team in India, because we want to understand this complexity. And we want to build it into our products in the right way and make it easy to use our products. So I think I would say we are embracing this volatility and this complexity.
Brilliant, amazing. That's wonderful to hear, actually. Couple of last questions just to look into the future. I know none of us has a crystal ball, of course, but one last question to you would be, how has your 10-year journey with ZF Group been, and what excites you when you look into the future?
So it was really, I don't regret any single minute I spent here. It was just a blast, a great journey.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And in every step of my journey with ZF, I experienced a lot of new challenges, a lot of new stuff, but also I learned a lot about the competence of our people, the mindset and the motivation of our people. So this was great.
Wonderful.
And I don't want to miss any single minute out of it. And what I am today is actually at the end the result of this journey. Wonderful. And therefore I can look to the future only with high excitement.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
As I said, there is a lot of difficult situation out there, a lot of volatility, but I would say that's such a great opportunity to grow. And we as a team, it's really important for me that all of us have the same understanding here. That is a huge opportunity to grow.
Brilliant. Wonderful. That really sums up the entire mindset, I think, of the entire company, right? That's how it should be, and that's the right kind of mindset to handle such phases of volatility. Anybody for that matter. Wonderful. Anything else in particular that you'd like to add, Ivan, that I've not, probably touched upon?
No. So first of all, thanks for being here. I hope we could showcase or give a certain flavor what is ahead of us. And beside all this external volatility, dynamics, diversification, and conflicting situations, I think the how can I say, the skill set, the environment for engineers to work in will change over time. And I think also here it's a great opportunity. There will be great opportunities coming up for people to evolve new skills, and based on these new skills come to the next level of technologies.
Absolutely.
And this is what we want to follow up, and we want to be not only part of it, we want to be leading it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ivan. Absolute pleasure talking to you. Very insightful as well, and look forward to staying in touch and to our next conversation sometime soon.
Thanks for having me, Bala.
Thank you.